And welcome to the Movie Madhouse. I'm Rob.
I'm James.
I'm Jason.
And our very special guest,
Marianthi. I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting that. What a fail. Hi, I'm Marianthi Evans.
Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you again so much for having me. Thank you. This is awesome. Thank you.
What is this? Lance says, phew, glad you're alive. No zombie broadcasts over dead air. That's right. I have no clue what he's talking about. Lance is another one of our members from CKX.
Okay.
Did you have something happen where you clicked on it but nothing went through or something once?
Probably.
I seem to recall it happening a few weeks ago.
It wouldn't surprise me that I did.
I don't have to click anything, do I? Like, you're not going to ask me to click stuff? Okay, God, thank God. I'm surprised I got my mic and my AirPods to work.
No, we're golden now. Now we can get on to our show, which is the top 10 Christmas movies with actor Marianthi Evans. So how have you been over this little, break everybody's getting?
Oh my God, I'm living the COVID dream. Like, who isn't? I'm not going to get too into it because I know social media is going to, everybody has their own opinion, and the last thing I want is people messaging me going, "You're blah blah blah." But I'm in Toronto, and I think this second lockdown, I don't know how I feel about it. I feel, yes, the numbers are rising, which I don't understand why they are, but just to lock down Toronto and Peel region, and now they just locked down York region, it doesn't make sense to me. I think if you're going to do a lockdown, you need to add stricter rules. And the fact that the mayor is saying, "Oh, I'm surprised people are not staying home." What the hell did you think was going to happen? What's going to stop people from jumping in their cars and driving 15 minutes north and going to Markham, or half an hour east and going to Oakville or Pickering to do their Christmas shopping or sit at a restaurant? Like, what did you think was going to happen? Yeah, so it's really where are you guys at? Where you're at?
Chatham, about 3 hours from you.
Oh no! Oh, so are you all in Chatham? I knew that.
Yeah.
Okay, you're all in Chatham. Okay. And even still, when my mom and I were driving back from Oshawa, the rush hour traffic leaving Toronto was insane. It was just the way it was before COVID. So people are still coming into the city. So I don't know. It's frustrating. It's a downer. It's I feel bad for all these small businesses that are struggling. And even I'm not working. And guess what? The money runs out, right? Yeah. And I'm not making millions.
I do know what you mean, though, only because getting the rules spread evenly as well. Like, even in our town, right now, Walmart can have 1,140 some odd people. But
right.
Bradley Center, where we had CKX, you can't have more than 50 people in there. And I don't understand the logic.
There is no logic there.
And that's a very valid point, because you're forcing all these small stores to shut down, but yet the Walmarts and the Costcos and the big box stores are still open, which sell flowers and clothing and games and whatever other than essentials. So whatever. Unfortunately, we just need to stay patient, and hopefully this will all blow over sooner rather than later, and we can get back to a normal life. But until then, let's all be safe and happy and healthy.
Exactly. And think happy Christmas movies.
And think about Christmas movies. Yes, let's get this going.
Ballin already jumped in here. He's one of our faithful watchers. He kind of does his 10 along with ours. So his number 10 is Fat Man. And I have not seen this yet.
I've heard of it, yeah.
It's Mel Gibson where he plays Santa Claus, but it's a very gritty Santa Claus movie.
Yeah, it's like him being attacked by ninjas or something, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Is that the one I've seen? Is it on Netflix or something? It's one of those streams, because I've seen the poster for it.
I'm not sure
I haven't seen it
on Cineplex. I've seen it there. You can rent it.
Okay. What's renting? Yeah. I'm kidding.
Right? We're Blockbuster. Ballin then said, dissenting voices regarding the lockdown don't have political will without the media on your side. Thank God for YouTube. Exactly, I think. Yeah. I'm not quite sure what that means, so we'll go
a lot of big words there.
Right. Too many double syllables. Okay. Well, we'll start the way we always do with our guests. Marianthi, what is your number 10?
Okay, I made a list on snowman paper, on snowman note paper, because
nice.
you have to keep a face festive.
She's
I
themed
don't
all
have
out
a top I don't have a top 10, but I have the top 5 that if I know they're on TV, I'm going to make an effort to watch them. Or if I'm feeling I need to see something, these are the 5 I definitely have to watch. And then I have some other ones that are favorites, but I don't have a specific top 10. I'm sorry. I can't, I have to take my own road here.
We'll go down the list. Then let's start with some of your favorites. We won't start with your top 5 yet.
Die Hard. Just kidding. I love Die Hard, but not for Christmas. Scrooged. Number 1. Scrooged.
That's my number 10.
Bill Murray. Is that your number 10? Hands down, number 1 is Scrooge. Bill Murray's amazing in it. I think that's that one holiday movie. I mean, Christmas Carol has been done so many times, but that's the one I think that is always entertaining, still relays the message, and Bill Murray is just brilliant in it.
It gave it that much needed modern spin,
Mm-hmm.
and it still holds up to today. It's not my favorite rendition of the story. That'll come later in my list, but yeah, it's just because of the modern take and the humor involved. And well, Bill Murray's great in everything, but there's just something magical about what he gives us in this one. You got Bobcat Goldthwait basically as the Cratchit, and just a great lineup across the board.
What?
I probably should have started with 10, right? Like my least favorite, but but I like to do things backwards.
Oh, that's your favorite. Okay.
I think that's one of my favorites. I told you, I like to beat my own drum, unfortunately. But I think also for classics, childhood growing up, every time you hear the title, you're like, oh my God, yeah, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yes, that's actually.
I don't know. I got some weird reactions from James and Jason. They're like, "Oh God, get the
I haven't watched it in a long time now.
I included basically all the classic, the Rankin and Bass stuff, and Charlie Brown. I put that as honorable mentions because they're not full features.
Oh, see, no, number 10, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. That's my number 10.
I like the original Grinch, which is like a half hour or something.
I like the original Grinch is on my list too. And okay, and of course, A Christmas Story.
Oh yes,
that's my number
Ralphie.
10.
That's your number 10.
I gotta hold
on. Elf made it on my top 10.
Oh really?
Starring Will Ferrell. Yeah. Now I think you're getting to know a little bit about my sense of humor and my personality here.
I feel it.
And then other ones would definitely be It's a Wonderful Life.
See, I wanted to add that one to mine. When I do my list, I do it by rewatchability, and I watch that one maybe once a year.
That's why those 5 made my list, because those are the ones that I know I will definitely rewatch if every year for the holidays. The one that I just watched actually when I woke up from my nap, because I took a nap before this. When I woke up from my nap, I just finished watching 4 Christmases with Vince Vaughn.
I have never seen that.
I've never watched it either. I've heard about it. I actually just had a discussion about it today at work, but I've never actually watched it.
Yeah, him and Reese Witherspoon are about to head out on vacation, avoid Christmas altogether, and this news crew is interviewing people at the airport, and they get caught on camera where all of their relatives are watching, so they end up having to go visit all 4 families because both their parents are divorced.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, it's really funny because they lie every year as to why they can't spend the Christmas holiday with their family, and then they finally get caught. And then it kind of reminds you, as much as it reminds you how your family can drive you crazy during the holidays. And unfortunately, we can't choose our family, right? But
that's why I don't go there. That's right.
If I'm feeling sappy and the hopeful romantic that I am, I don't think this made anybody's list. So sorry, I'm a chick. Love Actually.
That's my number 1.
I know.
Shut up! No, you're lying.
That's my number 1.
It is a good movie.
I watch that so much, even when it's not Christmas.
Really? I'm like, they're gonna make fun of me for sure with this one.
And actually, a really good friend of mine, Chris G, he works with Black Fawn. He and I share this guilty pleasure of Love Actually. He did a short film called Scraps, and he actually had a poster made paying homage to Love Actually, so it looked like a Christmas package. And
that's great.
So many good people in that film.
There is,
and it took me forever. I can't remember who I was talking to. I was watching Walking Dead for 4 years. Okay, before I realized Rick Grimes was Andrew Lincoln from I Love Actually.
I think that was on the podcast that you had that realization.
It was. It's like, wait a minute.
And he's British.
I know. That threw me too. I think that's why I didn't associate the two.
No, for sure. How many was that? Was that 7, 8? 8, I think. Okay, Christmas Vacation.
Did that make your list?
Absolutely not.
No, it didn't make mine.
Close. It was close.
That's one that I don't get it.
I love it.
I know so many people do, and everybody, when you say their favorite Christmas movie, so many people will say that. I don't get it.
See, no, it's fun, but I watch it once, maybe twice a year. So, with my list, all of these I watch at least half a dozen times a year throughout the year.
Right, right.
But yeah,
see that's the same thing with me. That's why I couldn't come up with the top 10, because I was like, okay, well, which ones do I watch because they're entertaining? Which one do I watch because they're emotionally sappy? Which ones do I watch because I feel like crying at the end? Like, so it's so I don't have a top 10. Those are my top. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is it? 7, 8. Those are my top 8.
Trust me, we'll just start.
Did I fail?
No. This list is not a general list. We're just going to start firing off titles. So you're going to come up with some. Like I'll tell you my top 2.
Okay.
Love Actually is number 1. My number 2 is Lethal Weapon.
No.
Jason, is something wrong?
Oh. Die Hard and Lethal Weapon are not friggin' Christmas movies. Shut up.
It opens with him in a tree yard buying
nothing.
cocaine.
It means just because it's that at Christmas time does not make it a Christmas movie.
Well, that's actually my question, Jason. What categorize something as a Christmas movie? Is it just because it takes place during Christmas, or is it because there's so many when I Googled to get my brain working or remembering titles, there's so many that I'm actually wondering.
I know. I do the same
Are
thing.
they?
That's how I start all my lists. And yeah, I saw so many on there that no. And I'm just because it's set at Christmas time, it's not a Christmas movie. If the idea of Christmas, whether it be the family aspect, the magic aspect, the Santa, the elves, that any part of that makes it a Christmas movie. If you don't have any of that, it's not a Christmas movie.
I am about to make
agree
a
with
TED
Jason.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Okay.
I'll walk out.
I'm scrolling right now through it so I can find other titles. Like While You Were Sleeping, because it took place during Christmas. It's a Christmas movie.
No, that one I think. But see, my number 3 is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Okay, number 4, Gremlins.
Damn it! I forgot that one too. But it's the same boat. Is it a Christmas movie?
Right. Number 5 is Die Hard. And number 9 is Batman Returns.
Oh.
So
again, is it a
Christmas movies? Aren't freaking Christmas movies.
When I flip the page of my list, I have the are these Christmas movies list, and Batman Returns is one of them.
That happens at Christmas. Now the other 2 are Elf, the Santa Claus, and Polar Express. So those are definitely Christmas.
I haven't seen the Polar Express yet. I have to admit.
I
know
so much,
and
fun.
I love animated movies, so I know I need to watch it. And I'm such a fan of Tom Hanks too.
Not only that, if you look over James's left shoulder, right beneath your picture is Eddie Deason, and he's from the Polar Express.
Mm-hmm. He has a voice in it.
Yep, he's the know-it-all kid.
Yep,
I haven't seen it.
Is he really?
Yep.
I just like the Josh Groban song from it.
Polar Express is fantastic. It's my number 6. So
I always hear about it.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Christmas movies and
because
I have to tell you, I was so excited to meet Eddie last year because I remember him, in these movies from the 80s.
Yes.
When I was, how old was I? I was born in the 70s. Oh crap! I just aged myself. I remember him.
I'm pretty sure you're the youngest one on this podcast right now.
You know what? I'm actually very proud of my age, and I'll gladly say it. I am 43 years old. I just turned 43 a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
You're just a youngin'. Just a young pup.
It's because I dyed the grays out of my hair. That's why I mask it.
Mine all just blend in.
The only grays I have are in my beard.
I lasered mine off, so I got rid of that.
Like Nana said, I would call them Christmas in them. Then you have to add 1941 and I Come in Peace.
No!
1941, starring Eddie Deason.
He's in Eddie. Yeah, Eddie's
That's
in
the one.
1941.
That's the one I talked to him about briefly.
But yeah, at Polar Express, he actually did a tour the end of last year on an actual train. They did stops where they would show the film and talk with people.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's cool when you can incorporate a Christmas theme like that into a travel show.
Yeah. Very cool.
Can't do that with Batman Returns.
I'm waiting for somebody to jump in and nobody's said anything.
That's what I was waiting for too.
I'm with you, Jason. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Well, I have to put up with him? And now you?
Somebody took the heat off me.
But see, I consider them
I don't know.
Christmas
We haven't heard
movies.
the rest of your list yet.
Yeah,
This is true.
So
I consider them Christmas movies because I make sure I watch them always at Christmas time. You know, just because I feel like I'm in the season with them, it puts a bit more connectivity for me in the film. You know, I'm the guy there with Mel Gibson buying the drugs.
I'm laughing at. I'm just like mesmerized. I'm just watching Jason's every expression. I'm like loving every moment.
Not really. Everyone said their lists almost.
Sometimes it's fun to watch that little vein just start popping on the side of his head.
I need a drink.
James, what is some on your list?
Well, I already Christmas Story. I put it number 10, and it was higher. And I just rewatched it recently. But these top 10 lists consider out of all the Christmas movies that exist, these are all have to be winners. Top 10 out of hundreds have to be the winners.
Yeah.
So, yeah, mine. Do you want me to go through my whole list?
Fire away.
All right. So watch Jason's eyes roll.
Okay, I'm ready. Wait. Let me get into watch Jason mode.
Yes. Center yourself.
Here, let's do this.
There we go. Perfect.
At number 10, Christmas Story. At number 9, The Nutcracker in the Four Realms.
I don't know that one.
I don't know that
was
one.
from just a year or two ago. Disney.
Okay.
At number 8, you may not have heard of this. It's called Better Watch Out.
Nope. Don't know that one.
This one takes place at Christmas. It's you get a young boy who's being babysat by his like 16, 17-year-old babysitter, and he's infatuated with her, and he orchestrates a whole assault on the house and kidnapping where he's actually masterminded all of this. Like this guy is attacking the house, but it's actually his friend. And they actually demonstrate because he gets her boyfriend to come to the house, and he actually demonstrates a Home Alone gag, like what would really happen if you swung a paint can down the stairs and kills her boyfriend by whacking him in the forehead.
This sounds Christmassy.
What is the movie called? Sorry, I have to write this down. What is it called?
Better Watch Out. It actually it came with like personalized Christmas cards with it. So I think that alone qualifies.
Okay.
Number 7, we have The Family Stone.
Okay.
That one's
familiar.
You got Coach in there. You got Rachel McAdams. You have Diane Keaton, Dermot Mulrooney.
Oh, I haven't seen it. The title sounds familiar, but yeah.
So far, you're fine, James. You're fine
Okay.
so far.
Number 6. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's a Harold Ramis movie. It's called The Ice Harvest. It's a crime comedy with John Cusack and Billy Bob Thornton.
I've heard of it. Never watched it.
If you see the trailer, you see what's his name? He's in a lot of things.
While you think that real quick, I'm going to throw up one of Ballin's here because this looks so interesting. It's called Tokyo Godfathers, Japanese anime modern take on the nativity of Jesus.
I've heard of that.
I've heard the title. I didn't know that's what it was about.
You got Oliver Platt. He comes into the bar where they are, and he's wasted. He's their lawyer, I think. You just see him yell out, "Yo ho ho, mofos!"
That makes it Christmas.
I can picture Oliver Platt doing that.
Number 5, I have Serendipity.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, I do remember that one.
Another Cusack and
Okay.
Kate Beckinsale. But you have a hilarious cameo by Eugene Levy as the guy behind the counter in the department store.
Oh, in the department store. Yeah.
Flips out anytime someone comes around the counter.
You've seen that one?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I have seen it. I remember that one very well. And again, that was does that count as a Christmas movie?
Well, it's sort of like the beginning and the end both take place at Christmas because she writes her number on $1, goes and buys something, and if the dollar works its way back to him, it's meant to be.
Wasn't it a book?
It's not impossible, but I don't know.
I do remember the movie. I know exactly which, because I was wondering about adding that one.
I do have to question that one a little bit, but I'll
okay.
Compared to what we got over here.
Okay, focus in on Jason. Number 4, we have Reindeer Games.
Oh yes, I forgot about that one.
I love Reindeer Games.
No.
I'm a Ben Affleck fan. I'm a John Frankenheimer fan. Charlize Theron, Gary Sinise, Danny Trejo. Come on.
Not a Christmas
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
No.
They're dressed up as Santas.
right.
I haven't seen it. Sorry, Jason. I can't.
There's Christmas music in the movie. It's
There's reindeer in the title.
He's going home for Christmas. Oh man. Anyway, number 3. This was from a previous list, but it's on this one because it's one of my favorite Christmas movies. Krampus.
Okay.
I haven't seen it, but I want to.
I'm watching that next week. So
You are okay. I'll put that on my list.
My number 2 would get you for Whamageddon, but it got me like 4 days ago on the 9th. I just heard Last Christmas, which is the movie Last Christmas.
Do you play Whamageddon at all?
Are you trying to make? No, I have no idea what that is.
It's when you're out and about or in your car and you hear Wham sings Last Christmas. Then you're out.
you try to go the month of December from the first to Christmas without listening to that song. Covers are okay, but if you hear the actual Wham version, you're out.
Yep.
And
No, I've never
I made it till
played
this
it.
morning. My alarm went off. The local radio
And-
station was playing it right when the alarm went off. Damn it. Screwed up my Whamageddon.
Whamageddon.
Yeah.
That's
so I've heard
awesome.
one cover. So I'm still in it.
But yeah, Last Christmas, which
Okay.
I thought was a very, very sweet movie.
I was going
That
to
is-
watch it, but I didn't want a chance getting Whamageddon.
Oh, you'd get
You
Wham.
would get
You'd get Wham
Whamageddon.
again.
Yep.
But does it count though if it's in a movie? Do you then
yeah.
lose Whamageddon? It
As
counts.
long as it's the Wham version.
If you didn't know it was
Doesn't-
coming, it
Doesn't matter.
violates the rules to inflict it on somebody else.
No, it doesn't.
No,
it
that's
depends on,
fun.
depends on who you're playing with. That's
It's just
kind of a house
considered-
rule.
It's considered not cool.
It's not cool, but it's a house rule.
And
Okay.
my number 1 is The Family Man.
Is that Nicolas Cage?
That's Nicolas Cage.
It is Nicolas Cage.
It's sort of like a It's a Wonderful Life twist.
That's an interesting list.
Well,
I mean, you actually had a top 10. I had a random 5. So that
And still, his list is worse.
That's true. Mine were all actually like what Jason and I believe to be Christmas. What we understand for our
You wanna
belief of
hear
Christmas.
My list of actual Christmas movies?
I would love to hear your list, Jason.
So, as I said earlier, number 10, Scrooged, Bill Murray. Okay, crushes it. You got to have Home Alone. That's my number 9.
I like
Oh,
Home Alone. I like
Home Alone.
I like
Come on.
Home Alone 2 better.
But wait a second. How is that a Christmas movie? Where is the Christmas element? Where is the giving?
The family coming back, is the mom getting back to him for Christmas. No, it's a Christmas movie. You're not.
Okay, I was fighting it, but yeah,
No,
he's got me there.
You can't. It's all about the family getting together for Christmas.
Fine.
Number 8, the one that we will end up watching probably 3 times every year at Christmas specifically, and gets me crying every time.
Annie?
1998's Jack Frost. Shut up.
With Michael Keaton?
With Michael Keaton.
Yes, that almost made my list.
I forgot about that one. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that movie, and it still gets me every single
So-
time.
Then we are to assume the family getting together at the end of any movie could be a Christmas movie.
If it's at Christmas time and they're getting together for Christmas, then yes.
The end of
But
Lethal
if
Weapon. The family.
It was at an office Christmas
How do I mute
party.
your mic? Number 7, It's a Wonderful Life. Watched it for the first time, 4 years ago, and now I watch it every year.
It's a great movie.
It's great. Jimmy Stewart is just an amazing actor. You feel every bit of emotion. Phenomenal. There's everybody. If you haven't watched it, watch it. That's the only way to put it.
I can't argue that one either.
And number 6 is The Polar Express. Truly stunning film, like visually just amazing to watch. Tom Hanks plays 3 or 4 different roles in that film.
I think it's at least 4.
And every single one, you see Tom Hanks, but they are different. Like it's amazingly done. I don't know if they rotoscoped or not.
Oh, they must have, because it's a nice use of computer graphics.
It is just stunning.
Motion capture, yeah.
And but my favorite part in the whole film, spoilers, is when the train is on the ice. And they're trucking on the ice. There is no tracks, but they have to line up with the tracks on the other side of the lake. And so right, left, right. It really builds a nice little bit of tension.
Ice Road Truckers Polar Edition,
basically.
You've got a fan on here too, Rondell. He's a big fan of The Vicious Circle, but he said Jack Frost is classic, Home Alone, yes, and A Christmas Story. He's with you on all 3 of those. Oh. It Happened on Fifth Avenue is one of Mike Nada's.
I have not heard of that.
I don't know that one either.
I've seen that once. It's a black and white film.
Mm-hmm.
But
writing it down.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one.
No one ever mentions Trading Places.
That's on my list of, is it really a Christmas movie?
An Aykroyd in a Santa costume.
That's why I didn't include it. I would have. I would have.
No, we've got the definitive answer now. Does the family get together at the end?
Well, family as in Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis.
It's not a Christmas movie. It's set at Christmas.
But isn't it all about the lesson of the true spirit of Christmas, or the family thing of Christmas and blah, 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 blah? Isn't that the whole point? Shouldn't that be
That's what I got from it.
No, but I mean, isn't that...
That's with 2 guys' lives. That's what it's about.
No, I know, but I mean, isn't the deciding factor of not only is everybody together at the end of the family together, but you've learned the true meaning of Christmas? Isn't that the... No, I know, not in Trading Places. I love that movie. It's funny though. I watched it actually about a month ago. Man, is it racist? Compared to standards today? Or not standards. Sorry, that's the wrong word. Forgive me. Sorry, that's not what I meant. But the way we've evolved in society today, and the way it was in the 80s, it's like, and you don't realize it because I'm born in the 70s, child of the 80s, and then when you watch this stuff again, it's like, oh my God, like that movie would not have been able to get
Blazing Saddles.
yeah, exactly. It blows my mind how
it's so weird. 30 years and it's such a different culture.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Rondell's with you. Trading Places, classic. I don't think of it as a Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, "Hi, Rob." The Halls. That's a good Christmas movie.
I never saw that one. I know it's Matthew Broderick
and Danny DeVito. I think
you're right.
Which I don't remember that.
Right.
They're next door neighbors, but they're competing with the lights and the Christmassy stuff.
Right.
Okay.
I almost had it on my list. It was one of Robin Williams' last movies, A Merry Friggin' Christmas. It was actually pretty charming. It was Robin Williams and Joel McHale.
I've never seen that. I've never heard of that.
Never heard of it either.
It was one of his very last movies.
Huh.
Oh. And then Rondell said Miracle on 34th Street. That is a classic.
Yep.
That's on my classics list. Yeah. Because, like I said, I have to be difficult. I have to have separate lists. I love making lists. Like I'm going to BC in January for a couple weeks and I've already started making my packing list.
She comes in, she goes, "Yeah, the way you guys do it. No, we're doing it my way tonight."
No, I still let you do it your way, but I just did it my way.
I think it's great. I really do.
Jason, did we finish your list? Yeah.
No, I've got more.
Sorry.
We'll see if they're
okay.
Christmas.
No, it's all good. Number 5. See if they're Christmas. What?
Die Hard 2.
How'd you know? Number 5, The Santa Claus. And I would include the sequels because They're all fantastic.
Dude, that's my number 6. See? Like, we're the same.
The Santa Claus, it gave you such a neat spin.
Oh, I loved it.
And I don't know if you saw it. I shared a music video that my son introduced me from a YouTuber named Danny Gonzalez, a funny young kid. He made this song called I Want to Kill Santa Claus, and it's all about the Santa Claus and how if you put on Santa's suit, you become Santa. So he wants to kill Santa Claus to take on Santa Claus. It's fun. Really friggin' funny. Even at one point, he goes, he mentions about, does that mean you sleep with Mrs. Claus? Because I'm down, son. Yeah,
I gotta find this.
So yeah, Santa Claus. And my wife will watch all 3 of those movies all year round. They're on regular rotation in my house.
Well, it's just a nice little twist on the name, even, the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I thought it was perfect. And I love Tim Allen. So
how they have the fine print. And then in the sequels, you got to add another lens to see the finer print. Like that little running gag.
Yep.
Now my number 4, my personal favorite rendition of A Christmas Carol, Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Oh,
not the Muppet Christmas Carol?
Just Mickey's Christmas Carol. That's the first introduction of Scrooge McDuck.
Okay, yes.
I just absolutely adore that rendition. Again, it's a short, whether it counts in here, but I'm counting it, damn it.
Oh, apparently Rondell was not here earlier. What about Gremlins?
You missed it, Ron. Rondell, we're saying, is it really a Christmas movie just because it takes place during Christmas? So
Marianthi said it so much nicer than it was said earlier. It wasn't so nice.
I'd be nice now so I can get invited back, right? So, and then the second time, forget it.
Yeah, the
Mugwai
is a Christmas present.
It's a Christmas present. Oh,
Gremlins does count.
The plot.
I will allow. I'll allow Gremlins.
And if I remember correctly, isn't the Gremlin coming out in the movie on the movie poster? Isn't he coming out of a Christmas box?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Here's what I'm surprised isn't on your list, Jason, because it's been on your different list before. Considered a Christmas movie, Anna and the Apocalypse.
It just hasn't cracked my list. That's all. But it is a favorite of mine.
Okay. All right.
Rondell's happy. He's got Gremlins in the Christmas list. Exactly.
And Greg is corroborating as well.
But he said, did anyone mention Office Christmas
honorable
Party?
mention?
No.
Almost.
Yeah, Office Christmas Party was fun.
It was funny.
My number 3, Elf. It's another one my wife watches all year round.
That was one, like you with Christmas Vacation. I never got what everyone liked so much about that one. I think it's all right, but
you're going to see this running theme in our show too, Marianthi, where we like good films, and then there's James.
It's so funny, and it's Will Ferrell. Like Will Ferrell's amazing.
Yep. Crushed it.
Did you know originally? What's his name was originally being thought for the role? Chris Farley. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
The original thing of Chris Farley.
They have a Netflix series that is the behind the scenes. Yeah, I just watched that one. Behind the scenes of like favorite Christmas movies. And the one me and my girlfriend watched was the one about Elf. And it was all about like them making the movie and Favreau and stuff. And then Old School comes out. And Will Ferrell explodes. And then they want to re-edit it and recut it to make it more, I guess, more like Old School or something. And they realized they shot it so specifically that they couldn't edit it to what they wanted. So they ended up giving it back to Favreau and his original vision. So
did they talk in there about the forced perspective that they had to use?
Yep. They also talked about like the shooting on the street with people who don't know they're on film.
That's hilarious.
It's on Netflix. It's called it's a series or a show called the Movies That Made Us, and this one is called The Christmas Movies That Made Us. Yeah. And they do Nightmare Before Christmas and they do Elf.
Yeah, there was only 2 for this season. Yeah,
there was only 2. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
My son just told me like yesterday that him and his roommates watched Elf, and one of his roommates had never seen it, so he watched it for the first time.
So
and
funny.
My son's in school at Wolf Laurier for music, so anything music related really catches his attention. he brought up a really interesting point that makes James Caan's character evolution just that much more heartwarming. In the movie, he's so grumpy and whatnot, and then when you see him like after Buddy's there, and you see him looking at that picture of the girl of Buddy's mom, he's sitting there with a guitar. So music was a part of his life at some point.
Okay,
almost like after he lost her, he left music behind, and then when they're on the street and they're singing, and he's not singing, he's just mouthing the words. Then he starts singing again to join in, and that puts it over the top. And then at the end of the movie, they're all sitting there, and there's him. He's singing "Old Lang Syne."
Look at you sticking subplot in there.
It just
that's actually good. Your son noticed this?
My son noticed it.
Yeah, good on.
And that adds more points to an already fantastic movie.
Yep, Rondell said Elf was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
But then Greg here, he says, James is famous for liking the most obscure movie ever.
But some of them are gold.
Oh yeah,
some.
One of them was an honorable mention. Rare Exports: A Christmas Tale.
See, I've never even heard of that.
It's a Finnish sort of horror film where they end up finding this dig site. And this giant figure with horns is sealed in this block of ice. And it turns out that Santa is actually some ancient demon that would actually attack and punish bad kids. And you get this, they capture one guy who looks exactly like Santa Claus, bald, with the big beard and stuff like that. And it turns out that, no, he's just one of those elves. You don't ever want to meet Santa.
Okay, I might like that.
That one I have to give credit to, I think it was... the Rotcast, which doesn't exist anymore, but the guys from the Cinerealists were part of that too.
There was another one. I think it was called Santa Claus, Claws. And it's where Santa was nice for 2,000 years because he lost a bet. And now, because it came out in 2000 or 2001, he says, but now the bet's over and here comes Santa Claus or something. It was the hokiest thing, but I want to see it.
You know, one that I should have mentioned for my honorable mentions. I used to watch this is the one I used to watch every year. It was the one with Dudley Moore. It was called
Santa Claus the movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
John Lithgow, Dudley Moore. I think
I did too.
I had it on VHS.
I had forgotten all about it. That is a great movie.
I'm about to date out, Chell. I watched it on Laserdisc. I remember.
I thought you were gonna say beta.
Laserdisc, shunk, shunk. I still remember those things. God. Anyway, the rest of your list.
Number 2.
Fred Claus. No?
No.
All right.
The 2000 live action Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh, the Jim Carrey one?
Jim Carrey one.
I never saw that one.
Yeah,
he's great in it.
I've watched it a couple, probably 100 times, if not close to 1,000 times, because when my niece was little and I was off work for 6 months, I watched her every day, and that's all she wanted to watch. So I know that every single second, every frame of that film, and I still love it to this day. And I had a bit of an epiphany the other day because we watched the latest Grinch, the animated one with Benedict Cumberbatch. So there's been 3 screen renditions of the Grinch story now, and every single one of them has a different perspective on the Grinch themselves. The original is the classic bad guy turns good. Simple. The Jim Carrey version, he's sympathetic, and his life finally turns around in the end. In the new one with Benedict Cumberbatch, he's a likable character. He's just angry because he's been left out all this time. And then they finally accept him back in again.
Interesting.
3 different perspectives, all on the same story. Amazing.
Here's one that might be on your list, Marianthi, if you were deciding whether or not it's a Christmas movie. I looked it up. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
I didn't get that far yet. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. No. What do I have? I have Batman Returns, Trading Places, Gremlins, and Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands, yeah.
Ah.
And the family gets together at the end. Except for Edward. They chuck him back
Except
to
for
Edward. But other than that, and the boyfriend gets stabbed. But other than that.
No.
Oh, yeah. If people die, is it like...
Well, yeah,
I mean, if people die in a bloody, violent manner, is that still a Christmas movie? Or
So
Okay.
my number one has been mentioned, but I bit my tongue. A Christmas Story. A Christmas Story will always be my absolute favorite Christmas movie. It has been since it first came out. I have fond memories of watching it every single year of my life, multiple times most years. And it still holds to this day. And last year they did a screening at the Capitol, so I got to see it on the big screen again, and I was a little kid again. And God, I love that movie. Just yes.
Jason, I forgot. Did Elf made your list, right? Yeah, we
Elf
talked
was my
about
number
that.
3.
Did you know Ralphie is in Elf?
Yes, I know.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, Peter Billingsley. Yep.
He's also in Iron Man.
Yes, he is.
He is.
That's right. He's
Who?
a scientist.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's
As
the
who?
scientist that Jeff Bridges yells at to make him
Yeah.
the arc reactor.
Yep.
Tony
I
Stark
can't
can do it
remember.
in a cave in Indonesia with nothing but spare parts.
Oh, right.
His head, hair shaved back, and the
Which
mustache.
means
and stuff.
he's also in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
I have to watch those movies again. This stays away. This kind of goes away from our top 10 Christmas movies, but I have to admit that when we were all in lockdown in March, I watched the Marvel movies in timeline order. Not when it was released. I watched them from Captain America first, then Captain Marvel, then I can't remember what the rest were, but yeah.
I did that too, and it works except for the post-credit scenes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Just ruins it.
Those will mess you up.
Yeah.
If you can pull those out and just drop them in where they belong.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever watched the one-shots?
No.
The short films that they were putting out on the Blu-ray releases for the first 3 or 4
phase
movies.
one.
In phase one they did
Those
it.
were good. The best one is still All Hail the King, where they say
Yep.
that there's a real Mandarin out there somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they did a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer, which
That's my
shows
favorite.
Coulson on his way to get Thor's hammer, and he stops at a little gas station in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night.
The consultant.
And then there's the consultant where it's Sitwell talking to. Was he talking to Stark? No, it was just
Coulson. No,
Coulson.
it explains the last thing in Incredible Hulk where they send Stark knowing it'll fail.
Yeah. And then there was Agent Carter, which led to the short-lived Haley Atwell Agent Carter TV show, because you got to see her as a true badass.
And there was also, was it Object 49?
It was like item something. It was
Yeah,
like
item 49, which comes off of
Avengers.
where this couple found one of the alien weapons, and the guy was actually able to make it work, which nobody else could do. And they were robbing banks with it.
I know. I've never.
Shield.
Oh, yeah. If you get a chance, they're fun to watch.
Okay. Google.
Marvel one shots.
Marvel one
find
shot.
I think 6.
I'm writing this
I
down.
think so.
And they're all really good.
Okay. Who was here? Greg corrected me. No, Rob, Santa Claus is a cat movie, and he's right. So,
Not to be confused with Santa Paws.
right. But I remember Bill Goldberg's in it, so I looked it up, and it's called Santa's Sleigh.
I remember that one on the DVD.
S-L-A-Y.
I can remember the picture on the box.
And even here, the description: Santa Claus is actually a demon who lost a bet with an angel, so he becomes the giver of toys and happiness. But when the bet is off, he returns to his evil ways. It was priceless. Rondell says here, yeah, Bad Santa was another classic.
I need to revisit that. It's been a long time. I couldn't remember it.
Bad Santa 2.
Yeah, I need to revisit that because there is the lesson in the end with Billy Bob Thornton, right?
So it's Christmasy.
Yeah. Oh, that one I don't dispute. I don't remember it enough to even consider it for my list.
Greg says here the new Grinch was amazing, and then we have William here.
That's Andre.
Yeah. Where can I find them? Hello, all. Merry Christmas. Are you talking about the one shots?
If you're talking about the one shots,
They're
I'll hook you up, Andre.
Yeah, they're on every single Blu-ray. But I swear to God, if you YouTube it, they're probably all right there.
I think so.
I'd be shocked if they weren't. Yeah,
I'm surprised
I
they're
would
not on
too.
Disney Plus.
They
Oh.
probably are.
that's a good point. Yeah, they're not. I don't remember seeing them.
But
I've never looked.
Andre,
Well, I would.
I got you, man.
I'm scrolling through Rotten Tomatoes 62 best Christmas movies, and there's a lot of classic ones or older ones that are getting 100% that I've never watched. Yeah, like Holiday Inn 1942, starring Bing Crosby, Fred Astaire, and Irving Berlin.
Well,
never heard of it either.
Has it got like one review and it's 100?
I don't know. That's a good point. I forgot about that.
Not a lot of reviews.
That.
People give a lot of leeway to a lot of those classic films. So
yeah. Oh, there's
like It's a Wonderful Life. It got 94%, which I think.
I wonder what they rate White Christmas. Oh, that was painful.
I don't know, but I remember seeing it on here when I was skimming.
I'm not going to say anything because I've never actually watched it, but something tells me, like, once again, you're on the wrong side of the fence, sir.
Oh, here's Ellie. Holiday Inn. It had the original White Christmas. Oh. I did not know that. Thank you.
Would you give it? Kelly? Would you give it 100%? Because Rotten Tomatoes did, or the people that went on Rotten Tomatoes. Did you give us your full list, Rob?
In a manner of speaking, I don't think I missed anything.
No, you listed it all.
I think
we discussed everything except for how we didn't get into too much detail on the action flicks because those aren't Christmas movies.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Elf, Polar Express, the Santa Claus.
You did, yes. I couldn't remember if you did pull. Well, you didn't pull a Marianthi. You did say it.
Here they are. Plump. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is on my list, but then we got the other ones: Lethal Weapon, Gremlins, Die Hard. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude by not looking at the camera. I'm just scrolling through what other ones. Yeah. What's it called? Well, what about? We all talked about our favorites or our must-sees or the ones that we have to watch for the holidays. What about Christmas? Like your favorite TV show's Christmas special. Like for example, I haven't seen it. LOL, but Bells of St. Mary is on my list, and it has Bing Crosby.
So that's kind of close.
Mm-hmm. Like I love animation. Like I love American Dad. I love South Park, stuff like that. I mean, I'm constantly for background noise when I'm busy around the apartment. I constantly have those playing in the background. So I don't know if you guys are South Park fans, but my favorite South Park Christmas special is what is it? Woodland Critter Christmas. That's it. Do you guys remember that one?
Have you ever seen the original, The Spirit of Christmas?
That's what got on the show. Yeah.
Yes. I have seen that. Yeah.
Where it was like you could see that it's construction paper and all that. Yeah.
I have seen that where Jesus and Santa fight. Yeah, I have seen that.
Kelly's right. Christmas specials need their own show list.
I know what your number one would be.
Oh, yeah.
Will that be maybe next week's category?
Oh. I don't think I have enough to fill that one, but maybe.
But see, I think that's where things like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Frosty the Snowman, those would be the TV specials.
Yeah.
True.
And those are all on my honorable mentions.
And I guarantee you there's tons.
And they made a short film to follow up Love Actually. I think it was like Red Nose Day or something.
Oh, did they? I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it was a short. They got a lot of the cast. I didn't see it. They got a lot of the cast back, but it wasn't a sequel. It was a short that followed it up.
That might have just been for that Red Nose Day charity event that they do every year.
Maybe, but it exists.
Yeah.
I got to find that.
Mm-hmm. This just crossed my mind because when you mentioned Jason, Jim Carrey version of the Grinch, I would love to. Oh, you know what? Crud. Never mind. I just answered my own question. I was just about to say I would love to see him play Scrooge in A Christmas Carol, but he did it in animation.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I forgot that, but I would love to see him in a live action playing it.
Zemeckis one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the same people who did Polar Express, I think, did that.
Yep.
Because it's the same where you could see Jim Carrey in the face and
well, there goes my new topic of discussion because they did it. So never mind that. Whoops. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen that or Polar Express, but I know what you're talking about in terms of the look of it and the quality of it and the.
I got 3 more here on my honorable mentions. I just want to throw out here. Jingle All the Way.
Oh,
Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to find that Turbo Man doll.
I've heard enough quotes from that.
It's silly and it's fun. Again, it didn't crack my list, but when it's on, we do end up usually watching it every year.
I missed this one earlier. Rondell did say that. Jingle all the way.
Okay.
I can see how some people would have it higher. But it didn't quite crack my list.
You gotta go out and get a Turbo Man. What's more Christmas than that, right?
That used to happen to us all the time.
Was it Tickle Me Elmo? Was that the first one that the kids went crazy for?
We were lucky enough to get one before the rush really hit. So I remember distinctly having one without any problem that year.
I remember one year my daughter was 4 and they had this line of dolls. They looked just like babies. Like, it was amazing.
Mhm.
And she wanted one with red hair because she has red hair. And I searched. I mean, I was from Windsor to Toronto. I was searching every single store. And then I just happened to be somewhere in Leamington and found one. I got lucky because these were the biggest thing. But now I can't even remember the name of the doll.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm wondering if that's going to be the case this year with the Mandalorian and the Baby Yoda.
Oh yeah, the animatronic child. I keep seeing it on TV.
Bought one off of It is. He has a name now, Grogu. Yes, I bought one.
They're still calling him the child.
Off of Amazon, and I was I think it was $60 or something. I am so excited. I got it as a gift for my boyfriend because he thinks that he's just so adorable, and that's the show that we watch together. You know, because we're that couple now. And it didn't work, and I was so upset. I even changed the batteries. I was graciously rubbing its head, and then I started going, "Damn it! Why isn't this working?"
Work powers to get there.
Yeah. And I had to return it, and then of course, when I went back on Amazon, they were now being sold for double the price.
Of course.
Yeah. So I'm like, "Well, babe, you're not." And I admitted to him what I got him, and I'm like, "Sorry, babe, I'm that person that has to burst your bubble, but I bought you this and it's not working, so I'm returning it." But I said you'll just have to be patient because they'll be out after the holidays, I'm sure.
You watch. January, they'll come out half the price that you bought them originally.
All the overstock, just everybody thought they were sold out, but so they didn't try to get them, and now they're swimming in them.
Exactly. How are you guys with Christmas shopping? Like, are you guys done with all that jazz, or
not done, but definitely farther along this year than I have in the past?
One thing left to buy, I think.
We actually have stuff wrapped under our tree already. Normally we wait till like Christmas Eve to wrap, and we actually have most of what we have bought already is already wrapped and under the tree.
What about
I'm going to show you. Me, I'm actually done. I'm going to show you the disaster that is my 1-bedroom apartment. I'm going to turn my laptop here, and you're going to see my Christmas tree with there's still wrapping paper on it, but there's my Christmas tree with all these gifts underneath. Oh. So I am done.
The lights look so cool.
Thank you. I love them.
Are they flaring, or is that?
There are some that twinkle. I don't know if they are right now, but you mean how they're so? I think it's just the camera, how they look so bright. It's just you know what? Funny enough, the computer that I'm using is my MacBook Pro that I bought January 2009. It's an 11-year-old computer. So the camera is not as.
Had his for 10 years.
Yep.
They were built back then.
I mean,
they were built great back then. Other than the fact that I can't upgrade it anymore, it's classified as vintage and obsolete. Believe it or not, it is. What happened was during this when we were all in lockdown in March, my agent suggested that I get equipment to start doing voice work from home. So I bought this one thing that I saw, and it was the whole deal. It had, a mic, it had an amp, whatever. It had headphones. It was like this whole package. I get it, and I had to download a program for it to work, and it wasn't working on my computer. And I'm like, chatting with Mac. They're like, yeah, just upload this new, software or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then my computer wouldn't do it. So I called this place in Toronto where I took it last year to just get cleaned and upgraded or whatever. And his words exactly were, the reason why it's not working is because your computer is vintage and obsolete. You can't upgrade it anymore. I was like, oh.
I love the nice words for old as crap. That's vintage. Yeah.
So, and other than it working a little slow sometimes, and when I'm editing auditions or whatever, iMovie kind of you see the pinwheel working more than you want it to, and it makes me really nervous. Other than that, it still works great. And so I'm like, do I let it go? I don't know. So yeah, maybe that's why the lights looked the way they did, because my camera is just possibly vintage.
J.J. Abrams tree. We figured that out.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams direct.
Yep, lots of flair.
Exactly, that's what it is.
But hey, if it's still working, ride it till the wheels fall off. That's what I say.
But you know what's going to happen? I'm going to be, editing some, leading role in some series, and then it's going to crash on me, and I'm going to lose everything.
Save, back up.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man. Well, thank you so much for being on tonight. This has been like the best list I think we've done in a long time, because it wasn't a list. It was just let's just throw some movies.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Sure.
What? No,
they're
Christmas. They're Christmas. My list is Christmas movies.
There's a big holiday punch bowl of movies.
There we go.
Punch bowl.
I like holiday punch bowls. Are you all celebrating with your fam? So what is Chatham? Sorry to go back to the whole COVID thing. You're in yellow. So can households get together, or is it no, stay within 6 people? Or
numbers are still low, and you're supposed to keep it to like one household to another, like not too much. I know we're not going to see my wife's family at all, because most of half of her family is from out of town. So we're not going to be seeing them. And normally we have everybody at our house. So, but Xander is coming home. My son, again, he's in Waterloo, and they're in the red. He was seriously considering not coming home, but he has decided he is going to come home on the 23rd. He's hoping to try and get a test done beforehand. That way he won't have a problem like going to see my mom and dad and stuff. So
sure,
he will be at least home, and that was really bumming me out.
Yes. What about you up there in Toronto?
We're gonna break the rules a little bit, my family, and I don't want to say what.
Safe, you'll get caught.
Well, here's the thing. So I'm my mom lives with my sister and her husband and her daughter, and both my sister and my mom have compromised immune systems. And then you have my brother who's with his wife and son, and my nephew, he's 9 and he has asthma, so he's little. But also my brother has a compromised immune system, and I live on my own. My boyfriend practically lives with me, but I love having company, especially I didn't have him around. We started dating in July. So during the initial lockdown, I did it on my own. And to be honest, I didn't mind it. I kind of loved it. I was like, this is great. I have my own space. I can do what, I don't have to. I'm a social person, and I love meeting people and talking to people, but sometimes you just don't feel like it, right? So yeah. I'm like, I have my own space. I'm only talking to people I want to talk, I'm in the mood to talk to, but I got to tell you, for the longest time, I wasn't talking to anybody. I just loved, believe it or not, being quiet. And many of my friends will disagree with that, but anyway, and lately I actually started working I got a job at CAMH, which is, for people who don't know, is the Center for Addiction and Mental Health. And I'm working there just as a screener and do some volunteer work. So I'm a little more cautious to see my family because I'm around people more, and technically I'm in a hospital. But each household is keeping safe because they have to, but we're still seeing each other. So the plan is to get together. But where we're going to go, I don't want to say, because I don't want people knocking on our door and catching us, but there's this area, we're going to a very large space. It's not somebody there's this, that we're possibly going to maybe have dinner together. It's 10 of us. But if they feel comfortable doing it, because they're the ones that do have the health problems, then I'm comfortable doing it. But again, we're going to be maintaining my family. We're not very, we love each other, but we're not crazy hugs and kissers when we see each other. We're like, hey man, how's it going? Yep. So
I see.
We're affectionate, but not really. Yeah. So right now the plan is we all get together for dinner. But it's not set in stone because who knows, maybe somebody might get uncomfortable at the last minute. Yeah. And it's understandable, because one of the horrible things with this virus is not only has it spread so quickly, but it's killing people. And not only is it killing people, but it can, even if, God forbid, but if I get it tomorrow, I can have long-term effects in the future.
I think the big thing is it's not known what those long-term effects.
It's not known, and even go ahead.
Sorry. Coworkers, her and her boyfriend were like one of the first couple to have it in Chatham.
Oh wow!
Wow.
And her boyfriend still doesn't have a sense of smell or taste.
Really?
Yeah, and this was like they had it back in March, April, and he still can't taste or smell anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy, and even now with the vaccine coming out, my mom, I asked her, I said, Mom, when it comes available for you, are you going to get it right away? She said, honestly, no, I'm going to wait because they rush to get a vaccine out, so I don't even know how it's going to affect me. And I said, yeah, I hear you, because if she were to get it, or my sister or my brother, they will most likely it will get the best of them. It will. So So as of now, I'm just going to do my baking on the 23rd of December.
That way you know for sure. Exactly.
Exactly. I'm going to wait because I don't want to end up with a fridge full of desserts. I mean, I do, but I don't because I don't eat them. But
exactly. Makes that alone time a little better if you just have a fridge like that. But I have a question for you now. Because you said you just found a boyfriend in July. What's it like trying to meet someone like that when you don't even know if you can go near people?
It's funny because I've actually known him for 20 years.
Oh,
but we were never good friends. So my dad had a pool hall / sports bar in Toronto's Greektown, and I used to work there because when Mediterraneans have children, we're basically cheap labor. So I've known him in that sense. Like, we were never friends, but we were acquaintances, and I always knew he had a crush on me. And I was always kind of mean to him because I knew he liked me, and I didn't want him to think that he had I wasn't overly mean. He'll disagree. Like, if he was here right now, he'd be like, she's lying. But, I was kind of like, yeah, I know you like me. Like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like, stop it. Like, it was kind of one of those. And my brother and him became really good friends. And he was actually telling me for a couple years now, he's like, he's a nice guy. Sean's a really nice guy. I'm like, what, are you kidding? I'm like, no, we're total opposites. I'm like, what, are you dumb? Like, that's not the words I used. Are we allowed to swear on this?
Go ahead.
I said, what, are you fucking stupid? Where are basically my words?
That I believe.
And then anyway, so let's skip ahead to June. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? Are you home? I'm like, of course. And so it's like, and Sean's over. He brought some stuff. I'm like, barbecue, you should come over. And I think my words were, that asshole? Or yeah. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I've got nothing else. So I went over, and then my brother had to pick up his wife from work. So it was just Sean and I, and we started talking.
Oh,
that sounds suspicious.
He's a son kicking the head.
And it literally, and I got to know him on a personal level. I didn't know about his past. I didn't know, that his dad was never in his life, like little things like that. And then I'm like, oh my God. Oh, that's so, oh, wow. You're so, it's so, oh, so sad. And then when he asked me out, he said, what did he say again? Oh, he goes, you should give me your number sometime so we can go out for a drink. And I was this close to saying it's not necessary, this close. And I literally went, okay. And we had our first date a month later. We went to Niagara Falls in July. And then life for me started picking up again. So after we started dating, so I was busy all the time, and he was able to see how chaotic my life can be. And it's been great. He's just been, he's wonderful. It's good. It's good. We're still on the honeymoon stage. So, but it's, yeah.
So
I didn't meet anyone new. It was somebody who was in front of me this whole time. But it's, it's been 5 months now, but.
Still, like you said, and it happened during one of the worst years on the planet.
Yeah.
Lining.
Yeah, I did. I really did. So it's nice. See, this is is it getting hot in here? Jesus.
Look at that, Jason. The family's all together. Now this is a Christmas show.
I learned the lesson of stop being mean, don't judge a book by its cover, and blah blah blah, and all that.
Gary Busey learned the evils of his ways. I'm about to get hit.
I'm not good at over the head.
All right. Well, and thank you so much. Anytime you want to come back on and do another jumble like this,
I would love to, and I promise I will do a proper list. I promise. I will.
Either way, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah. We still
Thank you again for having me.
Yeah.
Yep. Alrighty. In that case, another week in the Movie Madhouse. I'm Rob.
I'm James.
I'm Jason.
And
I'm Marianthi.
there we go. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks again. Bye.
I say shut up! It's a man!